Hello, I'm Rebecca Lynch, Development and Grants Director for ArtsAVL, and I'm going to provide an overview of the Region 17 Artist Support Grant. The application deadline for this grant is August 29th. We're pleased to be hosting this grant cycle supported by the North Carolina Arts Council in conjunction with our Region 17 partners, the Haywood County Arts Council, the Arts Council of Henderson County, the Rutherford County Arts Council, Transylvania Community Arts Council, and the Tryon Fine Arts Center. The Artist Support Grant supports professional and artistic development for emerging or established artists to create work, improve their business operations, or bring their work to new audiences. This grant is intended to support a broad range of talented artists in all mediums, including the genres of visual arts, performing arts, literary arts, music composition, choreography, and interdisciplinary arts. This year, grants will range from $500 to $1,500. Again, the deadline to apply is August 29th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. The timeline for the cycle is as follows. The application will open on July 21st with a deadline for all applications to be submitted by August 29th. Awards will be announced in late October with funds distributed in November. All grant funds will be expected to be expended by June 30th, 2026, with all projects to completed by December 31st, 2026, and a final report for grantees will be due by January 31st, 2027. Regarding eligibility and requirements for applicants, individuals and artist collectives, both individual artists and small unincorporated groups of collaborating artists are eligible to apply. Residency. Artists should have lived continuously in the region where they are applying for at least 1 year before the application deadline. For us, that's August 29th. So you'll have needed to be living in one of these designated counties since August 29th, 2024. Region 17 eligible counties include Buncombe, Haywood, Henderson, Polk, Rutherford, and Transylvania. Artists should have lived continuously in Region 17 for at least 1 year prior to the application deadline. An applicant must be at least 18 years old and either a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident alien. Proof of residency may be required as part of your application. Artists who live in more than one region should apply only where they spend most of the year. All members of a collaborating team of an artist collective must be North Carolina residents and live in the region in which they are applying and meet all other eligibility requirements. Resumes documenting residence for all team members should be included with the application. Artists who are sole proprietors of organizations that have already received funding for fiscal year 2025-2026 from the North Carolina Arts Council are ineligible to apply. Past awardees of the Artist Support Grant must also wait at least 2 years after the award year before becoming eligible to reapply. Current board and staff members of the consortium partner organizations and their family members are not eligible to apply. The Artist Support Grant is intended for adult, non-student artists. Artists enrolled full-time in undergraduate or associate degree granting programs may not apply. Artists in certificate programs are generally eligible, and artists pursuing graduate degrees in subjects other than their art form may be eligible if they meet all the other eligibility criteria. Other questions or special circumstances should be discussed directly with the North Carolina Arts Council staff. The project deadline. So all grant funds must be spent by June 30th, 2026, and the project must be completed by December 31st, 2026. For this year, project year of 25-26, applicants may apply for up to 50% of the grant to support artist fees. Other allowable expenses include the completion or presentation of a new work, such as the cost of resources necessary to complete or present a significant new work, such as purchasing art supplies or equipment or space rental. Projects aimed at advertising an artist's work and or demonstrating their skill level in terms of career promotion. So therefore, new or updated websites, building portfolios, documentation of work, or online presentation. Artist training, so cost to attend a class or workshop, either in person or virtual, aimed either at enhancing the artist's skill level or professional development, such as a master class or workshop. And travel, the cost of transportation, lodging, and food for training, professional conferences, or research for projects is allowed as possible. Ineligible projects and costs. Scholarships for undergraduate or graduate level education. These are things that are not going to be supported by the grant. Projects that support or oppose a particular candidate for public office. Projects that are exclusive to members of a particular religious faith group. Nonprofit initiatives. And projects that do not have a direct effect on the applicant's growth as an artist, such as promoting other artists' work. You will be required to submit budget forms as part of your application. There is a form provided. You'll be provided as far as expenses. You'll need to provide your projected project expenses, describing what will be paid for using your grant award and what will be paid for with additional funding, supplemental funding. Grant expenses must be cash, but matching funds may include in-kind costs. For the income side, you'll be providing all project income, including any personal funds, additional grant funds that you're seeking, or other sources that may contribute towards your match amount. List different sources separately. The total income should equal the total expense, and identify in-kind support as appropriate. Just to know that a match is not required for the skill 2026, but we do like you to record other sources of income if you know of that. Again, a match is not required, but we do ask that you put additional supplemental funds in there if you know that that is coming in. Again, this is not a grant, so the matching amount is not required, but you may apply for the full amount of your project provided it is within funding range for the grant. Again, awards will be from $500 to $1,500 this year. If additional funds will be necessary to complete the project, please indicate the amount and anticipated source on the income table. It will go towards your project's feasibility in the review process. For example, if it's a $10,000 project and the maximum award from the Artist Support Grant is $1,500, reviewers will want to see where you'll be generating the rest of that support for the project, so we know that it will be complete within the project timeline and feasible to complete. For your final report, if you're awarded a grant, an itemized budget, including receipts and copies of canceled checks or credit card receipts, will be mandatory. So make sure that you're keeping track of all of those payment records following a grant award. Work samples are a very, very important part of your application so that we can see the work that you're working to do, and the evidence of your work and career as an artist, and so we can look at artistic merit of your work and of the project. And so applicants must provide high quality digital work samples, links to things like Google Drive or Vimeo or YouTube, or attachments as necessary based on what type of art we're submitting. So samples must be of the artist's work only. Hard copies will not be accepted. Everything needs to be submitted via the online form. Work must be recent work, must be exemplar of your current work. So work must be completed within the past 3 years. An applicant must attach an inventory list with the following information detailed per the applicable discipline. So for dance and performing arts, we'll want to see documentation of up to 3 recorded performances. Videos uploaded, actually, we're only accepting links for videos. And we do want those to only be a total length of 10 minutes. A description, we'll want to, for your description on your inventory for those, we'll want to include the date and location of the performance, the title of the piece, the names and roles of key people, including directors, choreographers, lead performers, actors, etc., and a short summary may also be included. For music, documentation of up to 3 recorded performances, live or studio. Include the date and time and location, the date and location of the performance, the title of the piece, names and roles of key people, including directors, choreographers, lead performers, and actors. A short summary may also be concluded. Composers and songwriters should also submit scores, lyrics, and/or lead sheets as appropriate. For writing, fiction, creative nonfiction, and playwrights may submit no more than 12 pages each of 1 to 2 manuscripts. Poets may submit 5 to 7 poems. Playwrights may also submit documentation of a recorded performance or stage reading of their plays. For visual art and craft, up to 15 images of your work. Include date of completion, medium, and dimensions. Time-based work can be documented. And for film, documentation of 1 or more completed films. Again, including date, because remember, the work has to be completed within the past 3 years. So the date of the work is very important. Include date and location of performance, title of the piece, names and roles of key people, directors, choreographers, lead performers, and a short summary as well may be included. Please note for our application purposes, for audio and video work samples, note that due to file sizes, YouTube, Vimeo, SoundCloud, Dropbox, or Google Drive links are preferred. Please do not upload MP4s directly to the application. Please indicate if the work sample is professionally mastered. For evaluation considerations, and applications will be reviewed by a panel of arts professionals with experience in various disciplines. Panelists will score each application based on the following evaluation criteria. Artistic merit. Work samples provided will need to show artistic excellence and that there is originality, inventiveness, and/or cultural significance in the project proposed, as well as a clear commitment to a career as a practicing professional artist. Project feasibility. We want to see that the project proposal is clear and well organized, showing preparation and planning. Will show that there's a clear budget, a clear timeline, a clear step of operations. The proposal's goals are realistic and achievable within the project timeline. Again, these projects must be completed by December 31st, 2026. And the project budget shows forethought and consideration. Again, and professional development for the artist. The project must be consistent with the applicant's career stage and will be meaningful in expanding or promoting their applicant's artistic career and professional growth. On these categories, a 5-point scale will be used to judge ETHGs ranging from 1 poor up to 5 outstanding. Please be sure that you are both thorough and clear in your responses. Incomplete or unclear responses will make it more difficult for panelists to evaluate your proposal and will negatively impact your score. For the selection process, all applications will go through an initial review. Following the grant deadline, Region 17 partners will conduct an initial review of all applications for completeness and eligibility. Only complete and eligible applications will proceed on to the next stage. Following the initial review, applications will go through the panel review process. So the Region 17 partners will be recruiting discipline-specific panels for each of the key focus areas based on the applications received. Focus areas with fewer applications may be combined into 1 panel, and focus areas with many applicants may be split into 2 review groups. Applications will be divided by discipline and shared with the appropriate discipline review panels. Panels will be asked to conduct an initial individual review using the scoring sheet provided. These scores will be submitted and combined before the final panel meeting of the finalist. Discipline-specific panels generally rate artistic merit first. This establishes a natural cutoff for funding. Project feasibility and contribution to the development of the artist's career is then scored for the highest ranking applications. For the final review panel, a final panel with a representative from each discipline-specific panel will meet to make final grant recommendations. The final panel will also have the opportunity to review and score the finalist applications before the final panel. And please note that in an effort to ensure the equitable distribution of funding, location, race, ethnicity, and disability may be taken into consideration. However, the evaluation criteria, as discussed earlier, will remain the primary consideration. If awarded, grant requirements include the following. Grantees will enter into a contractual agreement with ArtsAVL. Be asked to keep ArtsAVL staff informed of any project milestones and/or any changes. This is very important to keep us posted along the way. We're invested in your success and would like to be a part of sharing your story. A final report will be required by January 31st, 2027. So again, make sure that you're keeping track of all those project expenses, as well as taking process photographs and keeping note of how the project is going along, as well as final stages and final reporting. Grant funds must be expended by June 30th, 2026, and the project must be complete by December 31st, 2026. And please note that late final reports will make you ineligible to apply for future funding. All of these resources are available on our website at artsavl.org/ASG. And so to apply, you'll visit our website there, and there'll be a Google Forms link. We do recommend that prior to submitting your final applications that you build a draft of your application offline in a Word or Google document, and then enter all your answers and upload the build it offline in a Word or Google document, gather all of your required attachments and materials. And then when you're fully ready to submit, you can enter all of your answers and upload the required materials here in the Google form. In order to prepare you for that, a PDF of the entire application, all the application questions and what the required attachments and uploads are, is available on the grant website. So you can go check out our website, read through all of the guidelines, eligibility, take a look at what the application is going to be asking for, and get all that information together. And then before the grant deadline of August 29th, once you have everything finalized, you can go in, log in here on the Google Forms link. It'll take you to the form that looks like this, and then you'll have everything ready to go, and you can submit your application. There is an application checklist. So these are the things that you're going to be needing to know. There's background information, and then there's your project description and information about your project. You'll need to have an artist statement, your artist resume, your project budget, additional support materials. Again, those very important work samples and associated inventory list. And we also, if you have, you're welcome to submit some letters of recommendation as well to your application. So we're very excited. We're looking forward to seeing your projects and such a rich and talented region of artists we have here in Region 17. So if you need help with your application or have specific questions, you can email me at rebecca@artsavl.org. No phone calls, please. Please do, if you have questions or would like to discuss your application, please go ahead and email me to set up an appointment, and please do that well in advance of the August 29th deadline. Please be mindful that we're going to need, lots of folks may need help, and we're all dealing with a lot in the world right now. So please do, if you need to reach out, you've got questions, please do that well in advance of the August 29th deadline so that we have time to talk and answer your questions. If we leave it down to the last minute, can't guarantee that we'll be able to make time for that, because only so many hours in the day. So thank you again so much, and look forward to seeing your application.